Greeting and introduction. Welcome to Motorize, your number one source for new and used parts. Today we dive into the world of the Triumph Daytona 900, Triumph's sporty reboot of the early Hinckley era. This bike blends British character with long-distance chops and that iconic triple soundtrack. Its calling card? A full fairing with twin round headlights that instantly say Daytona. We'll cover history, engineering, ride impressions, strengths, weaknesses, and buying tips, and figure out who this T300 sport tourer is really for. History and evolution. When Triumph launched the Daytona 900 in 1993, it became the sporting flagship of the new T300 platform. Beneath the fairing worked a 885cc carbureted inline triple, robust, tractable, and with a distinctive voice. A 6-speed box, steel backbone frame, and modular parts philosophy defined the range. The pinnacle was the Daytona Super 3, 1994 to 1996. Power bumped in collaboration with Cosworth and refined with lightweight carbon components. It sharpened the sporting brief, while the base Daytona remained in the lineup as a fast all-rounder with long range and unmistakably British character. Technical highlights. At its heart sits a DOHC inline triple displacing 885cc with 12 valves, fed by 3 Mikuni BST-36 carburetors. Triumph claimed around 98 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and about 86 mm at 6,500. The engine is carried in a T300 steel spine frame with a 43 mm telescopic fork up front and a rear monoshock, both adjustable. Braking comes from twin front discs with 4-piston Nissan calipers and a single rear disc. ABS wasn't offered. A 6-speed gearbox, chain final drive, and 17-inch wheels with 120/70 front and 170/60 rear tires complete the sport touring package. Design and ergonomics. The Daytona 900 goes for clean, functional lines, a full fairing with twin headlights, a long seat, and a wide tank with well-shaped knee grips. The clip-ons are mounted above the top triple clamp, sporty yet touring-friendly. Seat height is about 800 mm, and the cockpit gives you big analog gauges for revs and speed. With 17-inch wheels and a relatively long wheelbase, it feels planted and composed. A nice touch. The streamlined nose fairing offers solid weather protection, takes pressure off your upper body, and still lets the triple's signature intake note come through. Handling and everyday usability. Out on country roads, the Daytona shines with a silky swell of mid-range and rock-steady line holding. It prefers carving clean arcs to frantic direction changes. The suspension irons out bumps with ease, and the steering stays precise even at speed. In the city, it feels a touch ponderous at first, but it turns in neutrally and is easy to maneuver thanks to a well-modulated front brake. Day-to-day, you get solid wind protection, wrist-friendly ergonomics, and dependable range. One concrete detail, the 310mm twin front discs inspire real confidence on mountain pass descents and in the wet. Strengths and highlights. Its greatest asset is character. The 885cc triple blends refined manners with a throaty soundtrack and strong mid-range punch. It carries the Daytona over long distances with easy composure, without ever dulling its sporting core. The steel backbone frame brings rock-solid stability, the fairing real touring protection, a compelling balance. A standout of the series is the modular T300 platform, which shares many parts with its siblings and keeps spares easy to source for years to come. And then there's that unmistakable intake howl, a natural cue to where the revs are. Weak points and common issues. Tough as the Daytona 900 is, a few areas deserve attention. The sprag clutch in the starter hates weak batteries. You'll get a slipping starter and sometimes a nasty clunk, and the fix is pricey, often requiring the cases to be split. The charging system, reg-rec, and some connectors can be fragile. A quality MOSFET regulator rectifier and clean solid grounds are the cure. Nissan 4-piston calipers can stick if neglected, leading to brake judder. Early Hinckley cosmetics also suffer, corroding fasteners and flaking paint on the engine covers. And thanks to its weight, it asks for a bit more body English when you're flicking it quickly from side to side. Accessories and customization options. The Daytona responds clearly to fine-tuning. A quality 3-in-1 exhaust, a matched needle kit for the Mikuni BST-36 carbs, and a freer-flowing airbox sharpened throttle response and roll-on. Stainless braided lines and modern sintered pads add real brake bite. Dropping one tooth on the front sprocket livens up the launch without hurting its touring manners. Progressive fork springs and a fresh monoshock boost stability over choppy pavement. Visually, an MRA double bubble screen and a color-matched pillion cowl look right at home. Practical touch, a discreet Rentec rear rack for weekend gear. Market value and buying checklist. On the used market, well-kept Daytona 900s typically run between €2,500 and €4,500, with especially original bikes or rare colors fetching more. A documented service history, a healthy charging regulator rectifier, and proof of a replaced sprag clutch are big pluses. Look for clean revs with no carburetor stumble, a crisp shifting gearbox, and free-moving pistons in the Nissan calipers. Original, untampered fairing panels hold their value, as do stock Mikuni BST36 carbs with intact diaphragms. The sharper Super 3 with Cosworth parts commands a noticeable premium. Its carbon front fender and weight savings are the giveaways. Verdict and buying advice. The Triumph Daytona 900 isn't a high-strung supersport prima donna, but a soulful sport tourer with character. Planted, long-distance capable, and blessed with that unmistakable three-cylinder soundtrack. If you're willing to keep an eye on the sprag clutch and the charging system, you'll get an honest, distinctive motorcycle well off the mainstream. Most appealing are well-kept, largely original bikes with fresh brake and suspension overhauls. Recommendation? Yes, for riders who want to sweep along twisty back roads, value everyday usability, and appreciate the classic twin headlight face as a timeless statement.